If you were offered two jobs at the same time, would you automatically pick the one that has the higher pay, or would more factors play a role in your decision? We're all going to be entering the workforce, maybe even being leaders of our own one day, and we're going to have to decide and understand what actually makes a company worth staying at. My name is Audra, and I hope to be a leader one day. After witnessing some employee turnover, it got me really interested in researching leadership, compensation, and retention so that hopefully one day I could lead a successful team. The purpose of my presentation today is to help you see that companies and leaders really need to focus on the main reasons why employees leave rather than assuming that they're leaving for better compensation. Many companies and managers do believe that when an employee leaves that they're just leaving for better pay. According to the book, The 7 Hidden Reasons That Employees Leave by Leah Brumman, she states that there was a survey done by the Saratoga Institute that suggests that 89% of managers do believe that when an employee leaves that they're leaving specifically for better pay. According to another article written by Heather Nyach called Compensation and Other Factors That Affect Employee Retention, she states that compensation is critical, that employees who do feel like they're being fairly paid are more likely to stay within the company. She also suggests that compensation is not just about salary, but it also includes benefits, incentives, and other forms of rewards. While money is important, it is not the only factor in employee retention. In the book Fair Pay, written by David Buckmaster, he suggests that compensation is more than just a paycheck. He says that employees that feel underpaid also usually feel undervalued, which leads to reduced trust within the company that usually has that employee searching for better employment opportunities. While it's clear that compensation does play an important role of employee turnover, there's other factors that play a role too. Referring back to the book, The 7 Hidden Reasons Why Employees Leave, pages 17 through 19 suggests that there was an exit survey that was completed on thousands of employees on why they would leave the company. And if you take away the unpreventable reasons, we were still left with 57 preventable reasons for the employee turnover. The author, Leah Brumman, suggests that she analyzed all the exit interview data and she was looking for reasons and common denominators on why an employee would leave. She was able to find that there were 4 human needs that were not being met. She found that the need for trust, the need for hope, the need for self-worth, and the need to feel competent were not being met, which were all causing the employees to leave. Referring back to the book, The 7 Hidden Reasons Why Employees Leave, on page 3, there's a figure 1.1 from the Saratoga Institute's exit surveys that suggested that the 89% of employees did believe that 89% of managers did believe that employees were leaving strictly due to higher pay. However, 88% of employees actually were leaving for reasons other than money. Research does show that employees who feel more supported and valued are more likely to stay within the company. Understanding why employees leave will allow companies to make changes and could improve their employee retention. Companies and managers believe that they only need to increase employees' payments and employees' rates, but there are more factors to consider if they want to keep those employees. Companies and managers really should invest in employee retention instead of just assuming that employee turnover is just a common business practice. Why should companies care about employee turnover? Well, the biggest reason is going to be the cost. Referring back to the book, The 7 Hidden Reasons That Employees Leave, the Saratoga Institute said that they estimate the average cost of an employee turnover being 1 times an annual salary. And they provided an example to help understand that a little more. So what they said is that a company with 300 employees with a salary of $35,000 a year, if that company had a voluntary turnover rate of 15%, that company would lose an annual $1,575,000 just in employee turnover. The book also suggests that long before employee turnover, employees are actually disengaged, and it reduces work productivity and the work morale. On page 5, Leah Brahman states that many of today's managers still believe that turnover is an acceptable cost of doing business. But the truth is, there are actually steps that companies can take to help reduce the 57 preventable reasons for employee turnover. According to the Walden University, they found that there are 6 strategies that companies can do to reduce employee turnover. First, they could find the right talent that fits. They can encourage retention early on. They can recognize and reward their employees. They can identify clear career paths for them, encourage a healthy work-life balance, and create learning and developmental programs for employees. Overall, while pay is a very important part of employee turnover, research suggests that there are just many other factors that affect employee turnover. That if companies and managers strictly focus on compensation itself, they're still going to have really high turnover rates. If employees feel that they are undervalued, unsupported, or have a lack of trust or advancement options, they are far more likely to leave that company. If companies and managers would invest in ways to improve the employee retention, it could save the company money, it could increase employment productivity, and it could boost company morale. Compensation is not the only factor that causes employee turnover. Thank you.